Back live with you tonight here on In Focus. The provincial executive committees of both the Limpopo and Gauteng provinces have resolved to endorse President Cyril Ramaphosa for a second term as the party president. In a statement, Limpopo revealed that representatives from the province and Gauteng met on September 20th to discuss its proposals on leadership preferences and how they would engage with other provinces ahead of the ANC's December elective Congress. Ramaphosa has the backing of several provinces to run for a second term as a leader of the party, while Limpopo put forward its chairperson, Stanley Mathabata, as a contender for the chairmanship of the party. The province is behind current treasurer Paul Madadzhe for deputy president. Joining us now for a look behind the scenes at that meeting of the two provinces is Limpopo ANC Provincial Secretary Reuben Madadzhe. Reuben, good to have you with us, and thank you very much for your time. We're going to touch on other issues of mutual interest that we discussed, but let's deal with this leadership preference issue first and get it out of the way, and we'll touch on the other engagements, because I'm really interested to hear what the ANC in Gauteng and Limpopo have to say about the energy crisis. But why would you back President Cyril Ramaphosa for a second term? I mean, what in your view has he done exceptionally well that he deserves to be given another chance as opposed to giving somebody else a turn to do better in this economy, in the energy crisis, in all the other issues that we're dealing with in transformation?
No, thank you very much, Tavo, and the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. We want to appreciate the opportunity. But, well, just to clarify, you will understand that of the conference of the ANC in Nazareth in 2017, we had given the president a program which is called Unity and Renewal of the ANC. We think it still need to be given opportunity to continue with that program. But as well, we think he has managed under very difficult times of COVID to normalize the government and also to try and put the structures of the ANC together so that we can sing from the same hymn book.
There are some in the party, Ward 32 in particular, in eThekwini, we spoke to them. They feel that the current president did not fulfill the resolutions of the 54th Congress of the ANC, where he was elected, where he was given particular resolutions, a particular mandate. They feel he has not delivered on any of those things that he has been expected to deliver on. One top of mind would be probably a state bank. That is one of those issues that came out of that conference that he has not delivered on. The question of stability in SOEs is another one that one would say he has not delivered on. What are you looking at that would make you feel that he should be allowed to get back into office?
You would understand, Tao, that in the ANC we work as collective. Resolution of conference are not supposed to be implemented by the president alone. They are supposed to be implemented by the NEC collective. So the issue of implementation of the resolution, it can't be blamed to one leader. It must be a collective responsibility of the entire NEC. But from where we're sitting, we think there were conditions, there were economic conditions which were very harsh, which made some of the state-owned entities to perform very badly. I think all of us, we are aware of the harsh economic conditions that all of us as a country we are faced with. It can only be blamed at the Republic of South Africa alone, because even if you look at what is happening internationally, the economic conditions are not necessarily favorable. So those issues can be the determining factor of the individual leader. But we are saying as Limpopo, we think the president of the ANC needs to of the ANC program and to continue with the program of stabilizing our government so that our economic activities can go back to normal as we are trying to see, as we can see now, Tao, that the government has got a plan to try and normalize these economic conditions.
Yeah. Speaking of economic conditions, is the ANC in Limpopo and the ANC in Gauteng, alive to the challenges at Eskom? Are you concerned about them, and what do you think are the solutions?
Yes, we are concerned. We have deliberated on those challenges. From where we're sitting, we think we are being let down by the Eskom board. We must make it very clear. We raised it there in the meeting that we don't agree with a board which is just sleeping on duty, which when the country is in crisis, they speaking, passing each other. But we want to encourage also the shareholder minister to try and do more about the board. You can't have a board which one of its members, her responsibility is to continue insulting the ANC. Every time when she gets a platform, she's insulting the ANC and the leadership of the ANC and the membership of the ANC of things that we don't know, things that are within their fingertips as the board. But we think we can also, as Limpopo is a province where it's very hot. We can as well utilize some solar to try and also relieve the burden of the grid, so that we can have also energy in our villages.
So, as far as you're concerned, are you still happy with your deployee there in mineral resources, but also the one in public enterprises? Do you feel that they should remain there, or are you indicating to the president that it's time to maybe give other members an opportunity?
No, we think they must remain there. We think they must just do more. They must just increase the pace. But like I'm saying, with regard specifically to Eskom, truth must be told that we've got a very weakest board. That board is very weak. That board is contributing to the situation that we find ourselves in. But what they are capable of doing is to get platform and say the crisis that we are in was caused by the ANC. And we don't know how, because they don't even elaborate how the ANC has caused this crisis. But we think the shareholder minister must do his part, and from where we're sitting, we think the board must be changed in the interest of our society and our community.
How would you score then the current president in as far as his fight against corruption in the context of course, an investigation currently being conducted against him and what happened at his farm in Palapala in 2020?
Maybe we must raise it and make it very clear, Tavo, that the president has indicated that he's willing to cooperate with law enforcement agencies. With regards to the issues of him fighting corruption, all of us, we know that the law enforcement agencies are busy at work, as IU is busy attaching and selling properties of people who were looting government resources. In terms of our score, we think he can score around 8 out of 10.
Yeah. There are some who believe, in fact, have seemingly suggested, who are also running for the position of presidency, that there have been intimidation and the use of state machinery to go after political opponents. Do you think something of this sort has been happening?
Well, I can't comment on that, because I also need to have facts or evidence to try and corroborate what you are saying. Safe to say the ANC's resolutions of the conferences are very clear. They are saying you can't use state agencies to try and settle you can't use state agencies to try and intimidate comrades and abuse of government resources. They are very clear. And from where we're sitting, we don't think the president of the ANC is capable of doing that.
Now, Limpopo has, of course, indicated that you are finding difficulty with the step-aside resolution. I mean, what would you be pushing for as you're going into conference on that particular score?
We still stand by the decision of the Provincial General Council of Limpopo, which reflected on the issue of step aside and indicated that the issue of step aside is being applied in our organization inconsistently. That is the issue that we had with regard to the step aside. And our view as the province, we think we can still be able to do without it. We don't think it's something that is helping the organization to propel forward, because from where we're sitting as Limpopo, you know that we got leaders who stepped aside for 2 years on the basis of allegations. After that, now we are told that the allegations are fine. You can only be charged if you want. You can step aside when you are charged. And we think the application of the rule is not consistent. We will not have any problem with it if it's being applied consistently. The issue with us, it's about its application, where all of you have got evidence that this rule is being applied inconsistently.
Now, let's talk about the other candidate that you're backing, one Paul Mashatile, for the position of Deputy President. I mean, as we speak, as early as this week, employees of the African National Congress have downed tools, have withheld their services because of unpaid salaries. And many are saying the leadership has ignored their plight. Now, of course, that falls at the feet of the Treasurer General, who I suppose would be the one who is responsible for raising money for the organization, amongst other things. And they seem to give him a 0 out of 10 in terms of playing that role. He seems to have failed. Why would you reward him with a position of Deputy President?
But I think it would be unfair to judge him on the basis of that, because we know, all of us, that we have passed a political party funding act, which prohibit funding of the political parties by the national fiscus. And all of us, we know that the issue of donations are kept. And if you are donating, you must be exposed to IEC. And business people, they don't want to be exposed. And all those things were not done by Comrade Paul Mashatile, all of them. I mean, if we want to judge him on the basis of that, it would be very unfair to him. We must know what we did as the organization. We are the majority party. We passed that act. So that blame must be squarely upon all of us as the collective leadership of the ANC.
We appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us. That is ANC Limpopo Provincial